Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is a young adult book and it is a new release. It just came out this month. There has been a lot of hype surrounding this book. I feel like I've been hearing about this book since the middle of last year, which is great, but also made me super hesitant going into this book. So in the story, you are following this girl named Star. She is 16 years old. She lives in a lower class black neighborhood and she goes to school at this sort of upper middle class prep school that's mainly white. So she lives her life sort of balancing these two worlds. At the beginning of the story, you see her going to a party in her neighborhood with one of her friends. While she's there, she bumps into an old friend named Khalil. They grew up together, but they had sort of lost touch recently, and a fight sort of breaks out at the party and they leave together and he offers to drive her home. So while they're driving home, they are pulled over by a police officer and stuff goes down and Khalil ends up getting shot and Star is the only witness to the situation. So this is a young adult story that talks about the Black Lives Matter movement. It follows Star in the aftermath of this, dealing with Khalil's death, dealing with what she has witnessed and what she sees happening in the world around her and the choices that she makes, and even just looking at the lives and the situations of the people living in her neighborhood and the choices that they are forced to make as well. So yeah, like I said, this book has been getting a lot of hype. It's been getting a lot of praise as well. So that made me super hesitant going into it because I thought it was just going to be another overhyped young adult book. I didn't really expect it to wow me in the same way because I am just insanely jaded like that. But I loved this book so much. I will just say I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It's really, really well done. There's so much that Angie Thomas explores in here that I just found to be so fascinating. She is so honest and real in this book. The things that her characters have to deal with, the situations that they're in, the fact that, they talk about how Khalil wasn't a perfect kid, but he didn't deserve to get shot, and why, even though he wasn't a perfect kid, why he made the choices that he made, which is a thing that I think is missing in a lot of narratives. A lot of people just assume that, oh, if you live in these poor neighborhoods, you're a drug dealer, you're in gangs, you steal or whatever it is, and so therefore it's justified to kill you, but that really isn't the case. But the story focuses a lot more about Star and her reaction to the situation, her own just fear and even slight PTSD that she's dealing with after being in this situation, how she fears for her own life and her family members' lives after that point. Another thing that I really like about this book is that they explore so many different types of perspectives. You have Star's family. Star's father was in jail for a little bit, but they also have an aunt and uncle and cousin who are doctors and live in a different part of the city and live a much more Huxtable-esque life, so to speak. Then you have other people in the neighborhood who are less well off than Star's family is. So you see these ranges of people, which I think is so fantastic because a lot of times I think it's easy to obviously stereotype people and put people in boxes, but this book does a really great job of showing a lot more of the complexities and the nuances happening in these neighborhoods. Another thing that I really like is the fact that one of Star's uncles is a police officer, so you get to hear about things and see things from a police officer's point of view. You see them talk about things like relationships and interracial relationships and just what it's like to grow up as a Black teenager in the modern United States of America, and it's fantastic. I think that this is a book that even if you're someone who doesn't read a lot of young adult books, this is one of those that sort of transcends beyond that. The writing, I'm not going to pretend the writing is the same as reading some of the best literary fiction that's out there, but this is a really well written young adult book, and I think that the story and the emotions that are in here really carry it and really just make it the sort of modern young adult classic that I think it's going to be. Yeah, I think Angie Thomas just does a really, really fantastic job of talking about these topics without preaching about it. And she also does a really great job of exploring things from different points of views that you don't necessarily always get to hear about. And I feel like for that alone, this book is worth picking up. So yeah, those are my quick thoughts on The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I wanted to do an individual book review on that one because I was just so moved emotionally by that book. I feel like it's worth talking about on its own outside of like just a general wrap up. So there you go. If you read this book, definitely leave a comment down below letting me know what you guys thought of it. Or if you have any questions about the book, you can always leave that down in the comment section as well. So yeah, that's all I have for now. Thanks for watching.